Hello traders, today is Monday, November the 18th, 2024. I'm gonna go over 10 different names today. Keep in mind this content is for educational purposes only. Make sure to do your own due diligence before you try to risk any of your capital into any type of investments. This is not financial advice. Let's start the video with Apple. And looking, I shouldn't say it's strong, but it's very resilient. This move has been quite interesting. I've been day trading Apple and swing trading Apple lately. Again, is one of the names that I trade the most. And I like the fact that today we went up 1.34%. Let's take a look at the after hours. I was clicking on the wrong screen. Okay, it's flat on the after hours. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. It was let me see. Take this. It was a nice in the beginning. You went all the way up towards 120, 130, 230 actually, and then you actually had, or almost 230. Let me see. Yeah, almost 230. And then you went down towards the end of the day. Then you had a nice green candle at close, and then you're flat after hours. I think this name, all things considered, looks, pretty resilient. I like the fact that we finally bounced on the 225 level. I did get some calls on Friday, and these are February calls, if I recall correctly. And, I might probably sell them next week or so, but at least for now, I think this is looking decent. I wouldn't say it's looking great, but it's looking decent. MACD and TSI, these areas are looking also pretty good. One thing that is important now, we have to get rid of the range between the 35 SMA and the support level at 225. But I like the fact that now we are over 225, a little bit comfortable over that level. And again, tomorrow would be, it would be optimal if we actually have a move that would actually put us on top of the 35 SMA. If not, we might actually get into range between this indicator right here and support, and and that would probably slow things down a little bit. But for now, I think that Apple is looking very resilient. I like how the chart is looking. Is looks at this point very typical of this name. Now let's move on to Affirm, and quite very impressive day today. Actually, it was up at one point when I was looking in the morning, was up almost over 12%. It ended up closing at 10.5%. And let's take a look at the 5-minute so we can see the move of the chart. Very aggressive start of the day, and then you mounted the 61. Wait, before I talk about this level, I want to see if how old this is and how accurate it is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I have this level from, all right, 2021, from August 2021. So this is a pretty solid old support and resistance level. In this case was resistance, and now we are close on support. We'll see how we react tomorrow. But one of the things that I like is the fact that we went over and then under. You broke over resistance again, you got a little of a sell-off, and then you came back and closed the day on top of this resistance level. After hours, you still actually had a little of a run. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue going up on Affirm. It's looking pretty solid. It's looking a little bit, let's take a look before I say it's extended. It's looking extended. Let's take a look at the weekly. We might see, on the weekly is not that bad actually. So it might have a little more room to continue going up. But these levels right here, we were talking about 42.50. That was a very solid level. Then we had 47.90. We had 51.5 or 51.6 actually. This level was super solid. You had it here as resistance, and then you had it as support. And then once you got, this bounce right here, you just went through 55.6 and then 61. I have 61.6 or something, or yeah, 51%, 61.6. Anyways, Very nice looking move right here. Now let's see if we get a little bit of a cool down. But anyways, there's low liquidity here, so we might see some moves that are going to be a little bit, I guess, impulsive, considering that you have a very low low liquidity. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, on the 1 year, yeah, you definitely have low liquidity here. So just be careful here when you're trading. Don't get too excited. In my opinion, I think this move is probably going to have a little bit of a pullback. And don't be surprised if you actually go back towards 55, or even if you go down towards 51 or that 52 level. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, but it looks like this is starting to move higher. You know, I don't have a price target for Affirm right now, but for now, I think that we might get a pullback, and there might be an opportunity there once you actually come back either from this level, 55.6 or 51.5. There might be another opportunity to get to go long on Affirm. I'm liking this company. Well, not this company. Let me take that back. I'm on technical analysis. I like what I'm seeing. I would just would love to see a pullback. Anyways, let's take a look at a name that I was mentioning last week, and that is ASTS. And we're coming back with 6.8% after earnings. You had a pretty strong drop. It was almost 12% between the day of trading and then after hours when the earnings report came. You had an additional 9%, almost 10% down. Anyways, you had a nice, even though you had this report, you again respected this level of support at 21.3. You came back up. Now you're mounting the 35 SMA. That's also a nice sign. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Very nice move to the upside, and then you cool down, but sellers didn't actually show up. That is actually a good thing. I'm liking ASTS. I like ASTS to the long side. I think, for the most part, I am an options trader. As an investor, I would only call myself, I only have one position, and that is Tesla. But I'm really, really considering buying stocks or buying shares for ASTS and start getting, a position on this name. But for now, I just want to see how this develops. I want to see how, if we are in range right here again, if we continue here. And I would love to see if we actually break resistance at 27.8 and maybe continue going there. But this looks very enticing. I think it needs a little more time, however. We'll see how things move. I think that next few months until this month and next month, and probably the beginning of, and probably next month, this month, next month, and January are probably going to be very volatile and very maybe difficult to trade. So just be careful. For now, I'm just going to give it time, but I like this name. I like the fact that you are over the 35 SMA. We also, the MACD and the TSI are neutral, a little bit bullish, and the RSI is already pointing up. Anyways, your resistance level is 27.8. Support right now, just keep an eye on the 35 SMA. If you break the 35 SMA to the downside, then you're probably gonna go back again to this support level at 21.27 or 21.3. Now let's go to another name that I'm bearish on, and just got an email. Anyways, I'll take care of that later. And that is Cisco. So I've been trying to find the right time for Cisco. I was talking about Cisco to the downside up here. I thought it was already a little bit extended, and we are coming down into this gap right here. Back here, when we were on towards the end of October, I was actually shorting Cisco, and I went all the way probably from this candle right here to one of these, probably this green candle right here. So I didn't take the whole move towards support at 55.39 or 54.4. But anyways, I'm still bearish especially now that you have this gap right here. You have little liquidity here, and you're probably gonna find support on the 35 SMA. So there might be a very short-term, how you call it, opportunity here. I think also that, I'm very familiar with how Cisco trades, so well, maybe that's why I'm mentioning it. And it's my second largest, I guess, payer, or my second largest, I guess, stock that have given me the most, I guess, profits after Apple. So I think, yeah, I think that's correct. Apple is first, Cisco is second, or maybe third. But I have Apple, Cisco, Amazon, HIMS that made me pretty good money. Anyways, Cisco, I'm probably gonna go down with some puts. Your support level, I'm sorry, is at 35 SMA. I think you are probably gonna feel this gap, and then at that point, I would assess my position, because this actually has more room to continue going up. So I'm taking a risky position here to the downside. Once you hit the 35 SMA, there might be an opportunity there to go to the upside. Let's take a look really quick on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, you went up. Then you had this little double top. Let's take a look on this on the 15. Yeah, it doesn't show on the 15. But it shows on the 5. You had this little double top right here, and then boom, you went down. Anyways, that's what I have for Cisco. A little more bearish on Cisco. Now, another name that I was mentioning, that is Datadog, and Datadog is still in this range. I did take some calls right on this bounce on the 200 SMA. I did sell right on the top of this one. That was almost a perfect trade. So there was I guess, a combination of, I guess, timing and a little bit of luck, I guess, to be honest. Because when I saw the screen, I was right on this area, and I was like, I'm selling right here. I don't know if it's gonna break, and it actually didn't. Next day, it actually went over for a little bit, and then it came down. Now today on Monday, we are right on the 35 SMA. That it's okay, but the MACD and the TSI are losing strength. The RSI is also looking down. So pointing down, I'm sorry, but we'll see. One of the things that I would like to see is the continuation towards this support level at 21.3. And what is interesting is that the 200 SMA is still going right on this level, kind of like flat, completely flat. I think if you break under a 35 SMA, you're definitely gonna hit 121, and if it retests, then you have another move. I'm not saying you might have another move towards resistance. What I'm actually waiting here, to be honest, is breaking this level right here, or maybe even this level to the downside. I want to see one of these two levels being broken, and I might see an opportunity there. I think if you break to the downside, there might be more, I guess, more of a solid move. Definitely if you go towards that 325 SMA. But I think if you go under 121, there's definitely more. I would have a higher tendency to actually buy puts at this point, because you're going under 35 SMA, you're going under 200 SMA, and you're also going under the 121.3 support level. That's the only reason why. MACD and TSI, as I mentioned, not looking too good. They are losing strength, and that's not a good sign. But again, you have a pretty solid support level at 121. Keep an eye on that. Let's move on to another name that I'm just patiently waiting, and that is Enphase. Let me take a quick note here. So Enphase, very nice, I guess, retest on this area on 59.8. Close the day at 4.84%. Not bad. Let's take a look at the 5-minute and see. Yeah, this was very clean. 35. I'm sorry, you went over the 35 SMA. Yes, you went over this level, 59.79, 59.80. Then you went over 200 SMA, 325 SMA. You moved. Then as you continue, well, you topped, and then you started going down. Then you came back up. Very decent day, actually, to be honest, on Enphase. That's a nice looking chart. Let's take a look at that 1 minute. Look at that thing. Bam, bam, bam. Anyways, I would have loved to be trading that. That's a beautiful chart for day trading. Anyways, you are above this support level. One of the things that I've been saying is you have to wait for more confirmation to the upside. MACD and TSI are not there yet, but they are also starting to point up towards a signal line, which means that especially on the TSI, they are getting more strength to the upside. Volume, let's take a look at the volume. Volume is rising up a little bit, but it's not there yet. Anyways, RSI is about to cross the signal line as well, and it's about to get inside of the or out of the oversold area. This needs a few more days. It needs more time, and we just have to see what happens here. But anyways, for now, it's not looking bad. Just give it some time. At least I will, and I might actually buy some calls here. I just need to see this moving higher a little bit more, and I would love to see it going higher a little bit more with lower percentages, meaning like a 2% day, a 1% day, 3% day. I'll be fine with that. If I see a 10% day tomorrow, for example, I'll be out. Like that train is gone. I don't need it. I don't want it. I wouldn't trade it. But if this moves slow enough that the indicators look healthy and everything else, I would probably get in it. That would be a nice opportunity. Now let's take a look at Google. And unfortunately, I would love to tell you that Google is gonna continue going up towards 180. The problem that we have with Google is that the Department of Justice wants to, that's what the news that we got after hours, they are trying to force them to sell Chrome in order for Google to stop having the monopoly that they have on the market. Now, I don't believe there is a monopoly. I mean, this is such a silly thing. There is no monopoly here. There's the reality. You have Google, you have Bing, you have what is it? The Apple thing. I forgot. But anyways, you have a lot of other search engines, but browsers and whatnot. You know, what happens with Google is that people prefer using their product. That's it. I mean, I know some people that uses Bing, and I don't understand them, to be honest. So I just don't get it, you know. But anyways, so we had a pretty decent day, 1.67%. Then, of course, a government said something about forcing Google to sell, Chrome, and here you are. You basically gave away all this whole move. Down after hours, 0.81%, and it's probably gonna continue going down tomorrow. That's what I think. What that means is that you're gonna probably be meeting the 170 or 171 level pretty quickly. At the same time, you're gonna meet the 35 SMA. If the move to the downside actually happens, you're gonna meet 171 and the 35 SMA at the same time. You break that level, you go straight to 164. I'm a little bit bearish, to be honest, and disappointed. But again, I do have some calls on Google. I don't know if they're gonna pay out or not, but I mean the fact that this stock is having I don't know, so many difficulties from the side of the Department of Justice is just crazy. Anyways, let's move on to something better, more positive, and that is HIMS. I think the last time I mentioned HIMS, I was saying that this is turning into a chart that is, at least for me, a little bit difficult to read, in the sense of the fact that you're having these pretty big candles, a lot of volume, and a lot of overreactions coming from news. And but there is one thing that I think is worth actually pointing out. Over the weekend, I was reading the report that Amazon was, well, we all know that Amazon was going to get into telehealth and whatnot. Now, this report is almost the same as the one that came out in June, almost word by word. So you also have to understand that, or question, okay, well, what's going on here, and I don't want to sound like there's a conspiracy or anything like that. Another thing that happened, I think, towards the end of last week is that BlackRock actually increased their position on HIMS. That is interesting as well. So they basically bought this dip right here. That's a good thing. Now, if we actually go into what the chart is showing, let's say on the 5-minute, you had this sell-off right here on Friday, and then you actually came back very strong on today. So buyers actually showed up today, and then you had a little of a sell-off after, and a lot of stocks actually had the same kind of move, and around I guess almost 9 or 8:30 Pacific time, there was a little bit of a sell-off, but you still, nonetheless, you actually closed up 8.64%. Another thing that I mentioned last week is that yes, Amazon is a threat for HIMS, but at the same time, Walmart was trying to do something similar to what HIMS did, and they failed. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon tries getting into basically taking market shares from HIMS, and maybe they are not successful at doing that. But that is a bridge that we are far away from crossing. But for now, it looks like these levels again, the 1873, are getting respected. Now tomorrow you have to break on the 35 SMA, which is this guy right here. And if you actually mount this level, you're not going to have any issues mounting 2177 or 21.8, let's say. Now, one of the things that are quite interesting here, I think if we mount 2177, my next price target, and it would probably come fast, is 2344. So we're actually back to this kind of like step-by-step price target, which is fine. I like the fact that sellers actually came in today and buyers actually didn't take much of the gains that you had in the beginning of the trading session. You actually had this a little bit of a sell-off, and then you came back to the level, then you had a sell-off, and then you actually went over the 35 SMA. After hours, you actually got even closer towards 21.77. We'll see what happens tomorrow pre-market and after the bell. But it's not looking bad at all, to be honest. We just have to break over the 35 SMA. In that case, you're probably gonna mount the 21.7, and then I think you can actually have a price target of 23.44 and then start moving up again. There might be something positive here on the technical level, is that all this exhaustion that we saw here, because this thing was moving pretty strong, and if you go from here, I want to take a look out of curiosity. If we go from this week to this week, that was a 127% move in 48 trading days. That is pretty strong. So again, there might be something positive on this move, is that you gotta more than a breather here, but we just have to mount this level 21.7, which was a level that we were talking about for a while in the past, and that at that point 23 is probably gonna come pretty quickly. Not too bad for HIMS today, 8.64%. That was a pretty good day for HIMS. Let's move on. I am looking for Meta. Okay, let's take a look at Meta really quick. And I'm a little bit bearish on Meta, actually, especially going towards 543. We'll see how that behaves. MACD and TSI not looking good at all. RSI is all right, whatever. But I think my price target right now is 543, 544. And then if we break that level to the downside on the support level, if we break support we're going towards 523, no problem. For now, yes, I am a little bit bearish. Now we'll see if we actually have a little bit of a retest on this level and then continue going up. But I don't know. I'm just looking at support right now. There's pretty much no liquidity right in this area, which is probably going to pull this to the downside. And then at that point, maybe we can actually keep a close eye on what is a reaction on support. And again, if it breaks, it's probably going to go back towards 523. But critical level, 543 right now. And now let's finish this video with our friends at, where are you? You know who I'm going to talk to. I'll talk about, and that is Tesla. After I take a quick note, and not bad for Tesla today. I mean, 5.62%, not bad. This is a kind of like a indecisive candle, if you ask me. But yeah, you know, one of the things, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last video where I mentioned Tesla or not, but I was thinking about the government taking away the $7,500 credit for EV vehicles, and that was actually a good thing for Tesla. Now the market didn't interpret that the same way. It was we dropped like 6% on that day. I believe that was on Thursday of last week. But I was thinking, and I was like, well, that actually is going to destroy Tesla's competition if it actually happens. Tesla can actually take that hit, but Rivian, I don't think they can. Lucid, well, forget about Lucid. And then you have, well, we don't care about Chinese companies because we really don't compete with them, at least on this market. And then you have any other car manufacturer that is trying to do or work on EVs. So that's one of the components. I was like, that's actually good for Tesla if you actually think deeper about it. And it's not because Tesla is not, well, Tesla is going to lose that benefit, but then the competition is going to lose that benefit and they really need it, especially Rivian. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, the second thing was, and today, or was it yesterday or this morning, I don't know, we get the news that the Trump administration is really going to push for self-driving vehicles, right? And obviously that's great for Tesla because they are the leading name on this industry. And then since I'm saying Tesla is a leading name, keep an eye on Mobileye. They actually, I think that the ticket name is MBLY. They are the second name with more with actually very vast technology on self-driving. But let's go back to Tesla. Anyways, so I do think that I don't know. I was thinking, you know, that's a crazy move right there from Musk and Trump, where they like, again, you're destroying the competition on one end by taking away credits for EVs, and in addition to that, you know, 2 business days later, you announce that you're really going to push for self-driving technology and implementation and whatnot. I don't know. The way I see things and the way I like to perceive business, in my opinion, that was a masterful move. Anyways, I think Tesla is probably going to continue moving between this range of 315 and 360. But I wouldn't be surprised, and I think I said this before, that we close a year somewhere around 400. Yep, that's what I think. Now, if we go back to technicals, MACD and TSI are looking extended. But if we go to the weekly, which I haven't taken a look at, it looks extended too. So I wouldn't mind actually having a breather going towards 315 and then coming back. What is this? 310, huh? Where are we on 310? Because that level was, I'd rather use 315. Anyways, so yeah, I'm actually using 313, not 15. So yeah, my range is still 313 and 360. Why am I on 360? I want to know. That's not accurate. Let's use this guy right here. Yeah, 364 and 314 basically. So that's what I have. I think Tesla has more room to go. I would love to see it, to see a little bit of a cool off on for this name, but again, it's Tesla. It trades the Tesla way, if you know what I mean. Okay, everybody, that's all I have. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.